What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be making an emotional trap beat. So if you're ready for this one, let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so I've been waiting to use this melody for a very long time. This is like my favorite one in this new pack that I got, and I'm just really excited to start using it. So this is what we're going to start with. Alright, so I'm going to match the tempo because I really don't want to change much about it. I just love it so much. So we're going to go to 134 up here, and I'm just going to drag this in, and we're going to get this bad boy set out here. So first thing I'm going to do is double click this warp so that it makes sure that it's at 134. I'm also going to turn this up a little bit because I don't know if you could notice, but it's a little bit too quiet. So I'm just going to turn this up like 4 dB. Awesome. Okay, so it looks like it's lined up and everything's good. So the next thing I'm going to do is kind of chunk this out into 8-bar segments. And then I'm going to go ahead and choose which ones I want to use and which ones I'm not going to use. Like I'm not going to use this probably. So I'm just going to color these all a little bit different so that we know that they are different. Okay, awesome. Now I'm going to kind of get them in the order that I'm going to have them in. And I'm actually going to put this a different color because what I'm going to do for this intro part right here is I'm actually going to put it down -12. And what we're going to do for these samples is make sure that we have Complex Pro on and turn down the envelopes. That's going to make sure that it's playing exactly how it is in the sample. We're going to do that for these as well. So rename this one intro, and what we're going to do, the reason that we really separated these is because we're going to cut the lows out of this, and for the very intro, we can just leave them in. And I might take some of the very lows out as well, not all of them. You'll see, I'm going to do this kind of weird curve here. Alright guys, so one thing you can do is when you're doing the 808, you can go ahead and pitch it up 2 octaves, and then you'll know exactly what notes work and what notes don't work. But I'm going to do a little trick here. If you have this plugin called Scaler, what you can do is you can actually put the melody in there and it'll figure out what scale it's in. Let's drag this in now and see how this works. It's saying that it's an E sharp major scale. Alright, that sounds right to me. So you can see that I got all the chords that are actually in this progression. So if we wanted to add anything on top of the sample, we could totally use these different chords here to kind of match up to the original sample that we have. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the 808, but really quick I'm going to put in just a basic 2-step hi-hat pattern just to get a feel for it. Another thing I want to show you really quick is if you're just having trouble finding the notes with the 808, another thing you could try to do here is go into your audio effects and put a tuner in, and most of the time it'll catch some of the notes in there so you can kind of get a feel for what notes will work for whatever it's going to catch. So let's see if it even catches them. So it looks like I caught that first one there. Not seeing it go off now. Now we're not going to do a crazy wild 808 pattern since this is more of a slow beat. It's going to be a little more tame. So we're just going to play around with it a little bit here. Okay, so this took me a while to come up with, but I wanted to make sure all these notes were playing in correspondence with how the melody was going. So it just took a little bit of playing around with, but now it's actually going with the melody well. Alright guys, so we got a little simple beat here. I'm just gonna set it out really quick. Alright guys, that wraps up the beat. So kind of different vibes than we're used to, but I'm trying to change things up a little bit and get out of my comfort zone. So I hope you guys like that one. Smash that like button if you like this. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, because we're uploading daily tutorials, bro, and you're not going to want to miss out on them. But besides that, I'll be catching you again in the next one. Peace out, brah.